What's happening, good people? I'm Dana Lattery with Fly Fishing Board Outfitters. It's like an outfitter, but it's outfitters. I am here to tie some quick ties because, well, this is officially the last one. Depends which sequence you watch it in, but this is episode 20. The LESS MESS MORRIsh MOUSE, which is this guy. A lot of fun to tie. A lot of times people think that mice are complicated, and there is definitely some complicated mice patterns. But this one here is an off-brand of the Morish mouse, which is tied like this, but with deer hair. So it's very messy, just like this fly tying table. But the idea there is that this one is the LESS MESS MORRIsh MOUSE. So basically you're using this brown zonked pine squirrel instead of the deer hair, and so we get a wrap it and goes something like this. And so that's what gives us the legs. It doesn't float as well, but I think it gives more of it's easier to tie. Let's go with that. So yeah, do tie these up, tie them in all different sizes. So what you need to do is throw in your thread, which is going to be like a brown or a black 6/0 or 140 denier or something. You probably can go something bigger if that suits your fancy, because we're basically just tying two materials in here, and that's the foam and the brown zonked pine squirrel. Yeah, what size of hook do you want to use? Well, that's up to you. So the material list is on our website at flyfishingbover.com/TNLS4. Scroll to the bottom at episode 20 and you'll see the mouse, a picture of it, and you'll see the material underneath of it. If you do, you do. If you don't, and you have one of these, then good for you, because that's even better, because what we've done with our fly tying kits is that you can go back, purchase one of these kits, you can tie all 40 patterns, and your kit comes material to tie them, as well as it comes a sample fly, so you have something to kind of reference, and you have all these quick ties, so you can watch Thursday Night live on Thursdays, or you can watch these quick ties whenever you want, and there's 40 of them for this episode, and they all correspond with a package, with the last package I believe is in here, and this one is episode 20. So that's what your episode packages look like. And then you can see in the back there is all of your material. So what you're going to do in this one is you're going to grab this package here out of the bottom. And I've already opened up one of the packages here because, like you guys, you're already prepared and you have your kits laying there in front of you. Because if you open them super quick and you're not prepared, those hooks will go everywhere. If you liked that rhyme, please leave something in the comments that let me know you liked it. If you're new here, let us know that you're new here. And if you're the old faithful, known as the replay squad, drop a comment. Oh, I gotta hit up this fancy graphic that says, drop a comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you get notified every time we post a video on YouTube. That supports us, that helps out the channel. Get your friends, get your grandma. She loves arts and crafts, and I'm sure she would love to be a part of this YouTube channel as well. So grab your kits, empty them in a very careful way. With this mouse, there's not a lot of things there, so we're gonna head over to the vise and see what we got. What do we got? We got already a mouse tied up. So essentially that's how easy it is, and that's what it's gonna look like, hopefully, when this is done. So I'm gonna take the sample one out of there, and I'm gonna grab one of these hooks, probably a size 6 streamer hook, 4, maybe 3XL. That's up to you. A really good hook also to use is a Gamakatsu. You can go in a size 1. That's what that other mouse was on. It's a little shorter, so that's kind of up to you guys on the hooks that you want to use. But the one in the kit is this one that you see right in front of you. And sorry, Tim, he cries when I don't get this. When when he doesn't get it level. So maybe we'll just leave it off. Make sure that he is super OCD. Ah, it's pretty level. Look at that. Magic happens when you don't even try. So yeah, let's start off with thread. We're gonna grab, like I said, some black or brown thread, and we're gonna get started. We're gonna start getting some tension out of our auto bobbin, and we're gonna work our way back. If you have a Norvise, feel free to spin that Norvise and save your arm. Once you get far enough back, I can go out here, cut this off, spin or wrap all your way back. Gamakatsu hooks will be a little shorter in length than this one, but this one will be a bit longer. And if it is longer, you just need a little longer strip of zonked pine squirrel. So we're gonna grab that strip here. Okay, we're gonna go and start with this strip's not gonna get cut. It's gonna be the entire fly. And so what we need to do is kind of choose what we want our tail length to be. Something like that. I think you can exaggerate, just like legs on a fly, and you can kind of go as long as you want. So that's just gonna tail in the water. So it's really magical when you wet your fingers, because what we need to do is we need to split that hair at the point as to which we're going to tie this in. So you can give yourself a collecting wrap. What you don't want that to do is spin all the way around. We want it to stay on the top. That's super important. When we get it down, we give it. Now, if you want, make your tail longer. That's the tail that I want on this guy. And if you do have a really long strip and you get to the end of wrapping it or palmering it after, you can just cut it off, and that's fine too. But yeah, really make sure that that is sitting on top of the hook. That really helps kind of with the foam a little bit later. So I give a couple more solid wraps to secure that in. And then what I can do is put a few wraps of that in front of this, because that is kind of my tie-in point for the foam. Kind of gonna ramp that up just a little bit in there. And obviously you can see I'm dodging the hook. Okay, so we're gonna use like a 2mm brown craft foam, or the foam that came in your kit, and it probably came in a bit of a square. And so what you can do is you can cut it into two pieces, which is that, and you can kind of see that this is going to be we're going to take the smaller tapered end, we're going to put it over top of the zonked pine squirrel, and then we're going to tie in the foam there. So just do a couple collecting wraps, but make sure we do tie this in. We get enough of that it's tied in. Okay, tied in nice and tight, and then we're going to take our thread and we're going to go all the way to the front. And if you want, you can grab your half hitch tool, give yourself a half hitch, secure that. It's not as crucial on these bigger flies. Yeah, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this pine squirrel and we're just going to palmer it. You can use your hackle pliers if you want. We don't have to really get any kind of touching wraps going. And so, but what we do want to do is we want to just kind of keep all that fur going backwards. So you can make this as bushy as you would like, depending how tight and close you make those wraps. That's kind of what makes me happy when I'm tying my mouse in. So then we're going to get to the bottom here, to the end, and then make sure you got a little bit of a tag out of that leather that we can tie it in. Super important. We don't have to, we got a lot of room here, so we can really make sure we tie that in. And then if you want, if you do have a little extra on there, feel free to go in cut that leather off and kind of clean that up. So yeah, and then this is basically the two materials that we've got tied in are looking like that. Definitely go ahead and make this bulkier if you want, but you can kind of see how we've got the legs, the movement splayed out like that. And then on the top we want to lay it flat also, because then we're going to pull this foam back over top and kind of tie it all in. So again, how do you tie your foam? Do you pull it tight is the question. Do you leave a little bit of a hump like this? Well, I think for me, I'm just gonna leave a little bit. Okay, because what happens there is you get a bit more body in your foam, which is gonna kind of help with that wake that you're trying to create. Okay, I'm checking in here. We can pull this up. Go back in, collect. So I got that chunk of leather that's still there from the. Collect it nicely like this. Really, this is our fly. It's almost done, folks. What do I gotta do here? Well, I just gotta trim that. So let's just say we're gonna go like a 1/4 inch. Or up to you, and you can see kind of what I left there. Now you can just get picky on yourself, kind of clip those edges like that. That's basically our mouse. That's what's awesome about this, is you can literally crank out a dozen of these in absolutely no time. And so then we'll just go back in here, give ourselves. We don't really need to worry about or not, because we are going to put some resin on this. 2 reasons. Obviously it can take it on a bigger fly, but what we want it to do is try to help with the thread, because the foam, because the foam will rotate, and we don't want that to happen. So because little Solaris, just kind of spread it around, because that's going to get the foam and the thread together there. Okay, and then we're going to go underneath and we're going to drop a little dab. You can cut your thread off before this if you want. Okay, now we're going to go grab our UV light, which was sent to us by Mr. Blake Teague. This is an awesome light. And yeah, so we're just gonna zap the bottom here. If you get a few pieces out on the stray of the back in here, and let's zap the top. You could cut your thread before, you could cut it after. Depends how comfortable or what you tied in there for a knot. Sometimes I just like to go like this, and then I like to go back in and just make sure that we didn't fill the eye with UV, and looks like we didn't. I do get a little much over here. Easy enough. It just kicks off like that. So yeah, that helps this from spinning on here, which it can do that. Go in here. This is up to you to make this. It's not going to do this in the water. Kind of got to do it every single time, but just for aesthetics purposes, you've got yourself basically 3 materials: a hook, foam, and then this zonked pine squirrel. And so that gives you here, actually what we need to do, what I want to do before I am done, is we can manscape this tail, which is a nice little touch, is just kind of go in. And we're gonna just trim. I'm gonna give it a nice trim, and it makes your mouse look bigger on the tail. And then you can kind of do this up to your fancy. If you've ever seen a mouse tail, it's kind of this bony skin there. Cartilage probably. And yeah, just give that tail a nice shaving, some manscaping on your mouse, and then you get as geeky or as not geeky as you want. And yeah, that's a super awesome pattern for a mouse. Super easy to tie. You just saw a couple materials go together in no time. You see my tail. My mouse looks bigger because I gave it a good manscape in there. And, that's the last fly that we had to tie with you guys this season. And that's the LESS MESS MORRIsh MOUSE. That is a quick tie. Wow, it's over. It's over. It really is come to an end. So, like and subscribe. Let me hit this fancy graphic for you guys because I'm all by myself. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification. Let us know you were here. The regulars call themselves the replay squad. New folks, let us know you're here as we kind of get geared up for guide season and for season 5. But these quick ties are available for all 40 patterns. If you want a kit with all the materials to tie all these, by all means head over to our website, check that out. If you need the material list, they're also there on our website. And if nothing else, make sure you guys are still loving people, catching fish, and just be good people out there. So we'll miss you. We'll miss every single one of you, but we hope to see you guys on the river this summer, this fall, and we will be back for season 5. Until then, I'm Dana Ladder with Fly Fishing Bow River Outfitters and Thursday Night Live Fly Time, and we'll see you soon.